where it's just Kaiwing on engage. No one else can help with the engage.
30 seconds until minions
And Conqueror this time for Aja, so an adaptation in this matchup.
Yeah, okay.
Went for the Comet last time.
Yeah, I think quickly realizing it didn't do anything. I'm still just surprised we don't see first strike.
Yeah. I mean, maybe just too greedy. If he's getting solo killed by this Udyr with Comet, maybe first strike is tragic.
Jimin with the CFO emote.
minions have spawned.
Yeah, formerly a CFO player.
That's right. You got there in the end. That's the main thing.
Yeah. It's only game 2.
It's fine. You speak 2 languages. It's okay. Now, I mean, probably not much happening again in this game early on. Junja will be the one that's more likely to pull the trigger on something than a brand, but we haven't honestly seen Gemini just randomly go solo kill top laners at level 4, so not always strictly true.
Yeah, and Gemini really got a spanner thrown in the works in terms of his jungle clear last time around, because he had to just sit around and hover on his bot lane. Brand, not the fastest first clear, but certainly should be able to keep up with the Sejuani. Aja seems like the Conqueror hasn't really made a difference yet.
Yeah, this is the same as the last top lane started off. Oh, missing out on that farm, and Jang going to be happy to block up the second one.
Yeah, at level 1, being able to block your opponent's spell, just tank it. Wako's played these level 1s so well on the Ezreal.
They're going for Pulse Fire, so maybe looking for a wallet gap.
Oh.
I think
first legendary skin, right?
Yeah, I think more often than not, when he's been on this Ezreal, it has been the Striker Ezreal.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but this time, opting instead for that Pulse Fire. Yeah, it was the first ultimate skin. I believe it was followed by... Was it Udyr or Sona came out next?
Not sure.
It was one of the two.
As neither of those champions are ADCs, so I don't care. Honestly, this feels like another lane where...
Oh, God. Jimmy has to be careful.
Dead.
What the... Oh, my...
Just losing his flash 1v1.
Yeah, that was psychopathic.
Yeah. You do kind of want to stand and deliver on the Corki whenever you've got the E available for
Probably
you.
Probably not on 200 HP, though.
Yeah. You want to trade less often, probably, than Jimmy is trading, just so you can make use of your fleet footwork a little better. Going to be doing fine in CS. And we'll see if Junjia can make him miss that flash on the Corki. My prediction is yes. Woody and Junjia will be on their way here, as Woody's already here.
Yeah, no one even in the lane. And he's still keen to gank.
Gemini this time around keeping up with the Sejuani clear. And Kaiwing there to protect him as he does the Scuttle Crab. Again, Betty's managed to just cheat a recall out, and this time Gemini is not going to allow his bot lane to be locked in this lane. He is here to make sure they can get this recall off. So it might be Zhang suffering for it. Not the easiest dive, though. PSG maybe calling it off.
Yeah, oh, no. I was going to say he's going to finish that recall up, but... I mean, Aja just struggling to push this wave in, ultimately.
Yeah, unless Zhang takes a horrible trade here.
Yeah, he pops the Ghost early. They can kind of wait it out. It's a lot
Does he have mana for W?
Oh, my God. Oh, there we are. That's a one-shot.
Yeah, nice flash out from Junjia. Would have certainly gone down to the tower. Otherwise, both flashes just committed. Zhang not able to get the empowered W off. Goes for an ulti, for an R, sorry.
Well, much better start up on the top side for both PSG's jungler and top laner, as last time it actually resulted in Aja having a flash away and Junja going down.
Wako still hasn't managed to get a recall with his jungler on his side of the map. This can't keep happening for the side of Frank. If they keep picking this Ezreal, on a Zeri, you're probably fine to do this. But on an Ezreal, yeah, you just can't keep finding yourselves in these positions. We'll get a recall now.
Yeah, and his recall will ultimately be a lot earlier than last game's one, so it's not too bad, but yeah, as you said, need to be able to find those recalls nice and early to be able to pick up that tier and get that stacking away.
Yeah, and Zhang up here ultimately will be fine. Does find himself ahead in CS, though Aja will catch up a bit when he catches these creeps. It's just relentlessly running at him.
Down the spacing from Aja, perfectly turning around. But ultimately, even though he overheated with that flame spitter, it didn't really feel like it impacted Jiang all that much.
Yeah. Both TPs committed as well. Aja not able to hold on to his despite the dive. And Jiang ultimately will be fine. The problem is just going to be late game. As last game, we saw Jiang even solo killing his lane. So Jimmy doing a lot better in the trades now. Jiang solo killed the Rumble with the Udyr and still just couldn't have as much impact.
Ginger and Woody here. Jimmy, and once again, he does not have flash yet, but Kaiwing there to protect as well, so it's all good.
Yeah, feels better for PSG to play around the mid lane. Nice Q from Jimmy, and you can't usually connect with those on the Lucian.
We're going to have our objective trade once again, Ginger, this time opting for those Void Grubs, while Jim and I will be happily taking away this dragon.
Yeah, that feels pretty good. If you're the side of Frank, we do prefer the dragons, at least here on the caster desk. Level 6 now for Betty. So watch the bot lane, especially if Woody, or Wako, sorry, loses this cleanse. And Junjie should be 6 very soon as well. There he is.
Yeah. Climbing up in this top lane, and Aja doesn't have his flash, obviously, after using it in that dive. Has to be minding the fact that he's up here, but with that ward, we'll now spot out exactly where Kaiwing is and feel very safe.
He is still staying very far up. Oh, Kaiwing doesn't ever expect the Rumble to just be sitting there, though, so he backs away. Still hasn't been seen for a while, though. And, it is Wako suffering for this. So he has to ult to get this cannon. Tries to not hit too much of the wave otherwise, so he doesn't lose all these range creeps. But PSG playing well to deny him what they can. And you got to be worried about getting dived even in the 2v2. Kaiwing on his way back bot lane, though. The 2 culls picked up by the PSG AD carries. Just these little edges that, you know, you have games like last game where they're down 2 kills to none, but still just up a significant amount of gold because of these small edges they find.
Yeah, and Jimmy now has his flashback available to himself, so he will be a lot safer in this middle lane. Not really under the same threat from a Sejuani and a Rel as he was a minute earlier.
Junji has dodged this ward in the Tri-Brush. Maybe Frank feeling safe.
Yeah, Kaiwing only level 5.
Uh-oh. Is spotted now.
Yeah, should be able to get himself out.
Yeah, Wako will have his E available. They go.
Oh, still going aggressive. That's the bullet time, and Kaiwing is going to flash away. Does manage to get himself out, but that was a lot of damage.
Now Wako has to sack this wave quick. He's just dead.
Yeah, he does have sums available to himself, but Woody should be able to land something. The Magnet Storm to start it all off, and Wako's got nowhere to run, but he's trying to trade one back, and he does manage to do so.
Yeah, does lose a massive wave, commits his sums as well, Wako, but he just needed to get some money there, and it'll make up for the creeps he's missed. Meanwhile, though, Betty massively winning out here. And it doesn't look like they can ever get this top wave crashing on the side of Frank to dive the Rumble. Rumble will just ult the wave if he has to. And Junjie on vision for about a second. Frank really not respecting it. Kaiwing probably just had to flash. The Sejuani ult immediately. Had vision. Loses his flash anyway, but this way he's chunked and his AD carry is left for dead, essentially. Well played by Wako to actually trade back.
Yeah, finds a lot of damage for himself.
Yeah, fully stacked Conqueror, nice flash to pick up the kill, but Betty is going to be massively ahead in gold. As you see, he's got Vamp Scepter and a BF Sword, and it's going to be a long time before Wako's doing enough damage to kill this MF through her lifesteal. So we'll pick up a plate for himself. Unfortunately, shared with Kaiwing, who is still not level 6.
Well, Betty has to be careful. He doesn't have bullet time to clear out this minion wave, and Gemini's here, but...
Wow, Woody's reaction time so fast. Blind Q out of the bush, still dodges it.
Yeah, he is that guy, pal.
And, well, Jimmy and we got exactly what we needed from him out of this game. He's managed to, in the counter pick, maintain CS up against the Lucian, and he is set to just outscale this Lucian and be much more impactful.
Yeah, well done by him, especially after losing that flash level 2 or 3 or whatever it was, to have stabilized entirely and actually, as you said, keep up.
Yeah, it's just Wako struggling.
He is still going to be weaker for some time. Needs to kind of get those 2 items online. Even 3 is where he kind of takes over.
Yeah, 4 feels good, 5 feels good. Corki is just such a good scaling champion because every spike is significant. It's about picking when you're ready to fight, usually 2-item spike.
The same can be said for Israel, so it should be pretty clear for the side of Frank when they are going to be spiking, when they are at their sort of apex in strength.
Yeah, and it feels really good to have this dragon picked up, because there is going to be a point in this game where you're on an item and a half, and the enemy team is much stronger before you get the Miramanas online. And going to be 6 Void Grubs for PSG. If Frank can get this dragon before Junjia rotates down, you're going to be feeling pretty good if you have 2 dragons this early.
Yeah, Gemini's tiling it up, no one there to answer. No vision even. Skywing as well as Jimmy coming down to support support the air jungler, shall I say. But yeah, this is going to be, once again, the objective trade. So 6 Void Grubs here for PSG Talon, but the 2 dragons on the side of Frank.
Yeah. The Void Grubs are better for generating gold, as PSG in the previous game were able to pick up a lot of plates. Only the 2 plates in the vault lane so far. As Jiang may be getting dived again here. It's a lot of magic resist now. Yeah,
it's a lot stronger, a lot more resistant to a potential dive, but it looks like PSG won't be going for it, as the wave is just cleared out pretty handedly.
Yeah, just dead even on the Udyr. Feels like just a bad version of the Cassante matchup, really. You're a bit stronger. He's gone for the Rooker in this game, interestingly. Not happy with the Abyssal Mask.
Yeah, I'm shocked by that.
Yeah, considering he built an Abyssal Mask and just went and killed his lane on exactly these items.
Yeah, and ultimately, he has that brand, right? So you're going to... Even the Ezreal is going to get a lot of value out of the Abyssal Mask.
Yeah, absolutely.
But not going for it this game. He's preferring that Recurn. A bit more 1v1 power, in that you have that shield so you can trade.
Yeah, maybe it felt like he just had to give priority. We'll go for an armor item second, and maybe last game he just felt like he had to give up priority a little too early. Junjia going to eat a chunk here. Would he able to clear this ward? Maybe. He shouldn't be able to. Jimmy, and let's see his reaction time. Junjia not going to go for it.
Yeah, but Maple is. Cullen coming out, and Glacial Prison will land, but just out of range. Jimmy unable to create enough distance.
Yeah, and PSG are so good. Junjia shows bot, forces Gemini to rotate down, and then quickly makes a play mid. PSG making a way too aggressive play in the mid lane, but not punishable. Jimmy and just find himself on the wrong side of the map.
Oh.
Yeah,
Skywing angrily hits the ground in disgust.
It activates his E as well.
Down 2k gold again, Frank Esports.
Just purely through bot lane, I think, and a couple culls picked up.
Yeah, Betty once again just so far ahead in terms of that CS. And it is just the pressure, really, that Jinja gave them by finding that kill onto Wako and forcing Kaiwing out of lane at level 5.
And seems like Aja knows something is up in the top lane. And Gemini not really able to get anything done on the map so far.
Well, this is going to be a Rift Shield for a tower, and I mean, how many times do we need to say it? But this is just so good for the team that gets the tower, as long as this Rift Shield doesn't really get the mid lane tower in specific, which right now it doesn't seem like it's under all that much pressure, considering it doesn't even seem to have taken any damage.
Yeah, I mean, Frank were able to get the mid tower with the Herald last time, so gonna feel okay if they can do that again. And Wako is honestly in a better spot this game than he was last.
Yeah, for sure.
Interact much better, I think, with the MF going forward than he does the Callista. So yeah, gonna be feeling okay, but with a Bloodthirster finished and almost a second item already for Betty, Yeah, going to be a long time before Waco's is impactful. Cannot fight around these two ADCs right now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and that is a trade where Betty is back to full HP and Junjia caught.
Yeah, Junjia's caught out. There's 3 people, but he is going to be able to flash over that Baron wall and get himself back to safety as Maple getting a little aggressive here, but doesn't seem like there's really much play, would he? He's going to find everyone in that bush and quickly turn the other way.
Yeah, BrandQ missing on a stun target there, unfortunately. Betty making the most of these Void Grubs, picks up a second tower for himself. And how do you actually kill this MF until your Corki or Ezreal come online? Because any Alistar engage is going to have to be through a flash from Kaiwing, and Betty's going to react to that.
Yeah, quite possibly the fastest reaction times in our league is taking a look at the total gold there. It is just Betty well and truly ahead of the competition.
Yeah, 2k up on his own. Pretty much his entire team's gold lead.
Yeah, almost 4k now as their lead.
Yeah, just up 1 kill. Have lost 2 dragons, PSG, so that is going to be good for Frank if they are trying to stall this one out. As they should be. I think scaling looks pretty good for Frank this game.
Yeah, we'll see if they want to fight this next dragon. You know PSG certainly are with Maple now headed down.
Seems wrong with 280 stacks on both these tiers, but Frank are going to go for it.
Yeah, Jimmy teleports on in, so it's going to be a 5v5.
Completely sacked mid-prio.
Another 280 carries here from PSG making their way down. Junja, he doesn't have flash, but he has ult. He can look for that team fight. RJ as well is going to be so impactful if he finds a good equalizer. Kaiwing flashing forward, but he's only able to find Junja, who's able to get that smite. And look at the bullet time ripping through these health bars. It's 3 people going down in such quick succession as PSG run away with at least this fight.
Yeah, Kaiwing completely misreads the situation there. The dragon is way too low to be trying to focus down the Sejuani. He should just be headbutting the Sejuani away from the dragon. Tries to headbutt her into the team so they can kill the Sejuani and win the smite fight, but the dragon's already dead at this point. He has the opportunity here to just CC Junjia and push him away from the dragon and secure it for his team. Rel MF, we see why this is such a good pick with the Rumble and the MF. And, I mean, Jung spent that whole fight just sitting in the bot fight, trying to zone the Rumble. Aja walks up, throws an ulti on top of the Rel ult, and has infinitely more impact again than this Udyr pick.
Yeah, so we're talking it was 4k gold advantage just before, well, now it's ballooned up to 5 as... Yeah. Going to look for another tower here on the top side. Maple is going to at least half alpha. These Void Grubs and double Void Mites that they are having spawned going to be very helpful, although Jimmy takes a nice trade.
Yeah, turret shot helping Jimmy out there, and you're seeing Corki starting to get these good trades, but Lucian just has 2 items finished already. Woody.
I think he's fine, yeah, crash down. Wow.
That is the second time Gemini's missed his Q on a stun target this game.
Maybe they're the ones in a Rusty Maple. Oh my god. What happened up there? Both mid laners using flash, true shot barrage. Maple falling back far enough to not get hit by that one, but very, very close was that trade. Jimmy only just able to survive, as was Maple after the tower shot did come through.
Yeah, and it's just across the board that PSG are winning. They've killed each member of Frank once this game. Only Waco engaged now onto Kaiwing.
Yeah, onto Kaiwing. Here comes the crash down and the Magnet Storm as the culling is going to be able to just completely annihilate Gemini. That's another kill found. That's another kill onto Maple, who sits comfortably at 3-0. Now PSG, they're looking for this dive. Jimmy has been able to heal up to about half HP, but both these tanks, both these engaged champions are full as the teleport now coming through from both these top laners to try and find an angle, but Jiang may be able to keep his mid laner alive. But what an equalizer. Jimmy's just taken out. Relentless pursuit and just the double tap will be able to confirm that kill as bullet time comes through. Jiang able to sidestep away from that, and Wako trying to find his way and won't be able to do so. That's 1 kill going down. Kaiwing is as well, and only Wako survives as Gemini respawning, but PSG are just sprinting away with game number 2.
Yeah, fully stacked tiers now on the side of the Frank carries, but no Muramana is completed. They keep opting into these fights before they finish their spikes, and it's very one-sided, as you can see.
Yeah, and I think we're at the stage of the game where we start thinking about the next one. 8k gold advantage, 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
PSG, well, you know, yes, Frank scale fine. No, I don't think they outscale by any stretch of the imagination. This Misfortune champ will just get stronger and stronger as this game progresses. And Lucian, as well, these days, does scale very well with just how well he synergizes with items.
Yeah, in Maple's hands especially, we've seen him become a monster in the late game and takeover games. Not all that much CC to deal with him either. And skill shot-based carries on the enemy team. Plenty of opportunity for PSG to outplay if this one does go late, but I mean, Frank are going to have to get there first.
Yeah, now they did pick up those 2 early dragons, which is going to delay at least that sort of Dragon Soul win condition. But yeah, the Baron being started up, Woody and Betty here trying to dissuade any forward progress in the jungle, try to dissuade any way of getting vision. And down to half HP with only Junja and Maple hitting it. Arctic will come now, overheat, and start melting through that health. As Woody getting engaged on Junglo, realizing it is not safe for him to just walk on forward, and it is that Baron taken out. So 21 minutes in, and PSG are very comfortably in the lead. It's 9k gold advantage, and the Baron just picked up as they're going to start to now head towards some of these inner tower objectives.
Yeah, and right now, if you're Frank, you have to be kicking yourself because you had an opportunity to just give up the 3rd dragon instead. The way the game plays out, because you fight that dragon, you have to give up a Baron at 21 minutes, which is almost impossible to come back from, especially when you add this gold lead on top.
Yeah, and now everyone redeploying onto the map. PSG, they will have 2.5 minutes to make use of this Baron. Last game we saw Frank only able to take the 1 tower, but certainly a lot stronger are PSG in this game in comparison to Frank last game. So we'll see what they're able to get. Betty should be able to start hitting away at this inner tower. In the mid lane, Maple likewise here on the bottom side as that double R was used. Minion wave crashing means at least this tower is going to go down. Betty was able to get that top tower. And Arja is going to play safe enough around the fact there are 3 people trying to hunt him down in that top lane.
Yeah, and this is just going to be another game, it looks like, where Wako does not get to play at all on this Ezreal. By the time he gets his 2-item spike, his team is 9k gold behind and up against Baron.
Maple's
and 6
doing so much damage. Betty, I mean, he's the AD carry, and there's no way to engage on him outside of an Alistar as the Glacial Prison does go wide, but that is the inhibitor tower in the mid lane taken out. Yeah, Kaiwing looking for something on the flank here, but the Scrying Orb going to spot him out. Look how much damage Maple is doing to this Udyr.
Yeah, and like, what are you supposed to do as Udyr? You are just a punching bag.
Gemini finds his way onto Junja. Junja no ult, but in comes Magnastorm, in comes absolutely everything. The flash away here from Gemini, and he will be able to get that Pyroclasm out, but Maple jumps on in. He actually jumps into that Brand ult, but he's able to run away. Bullet Tie still available. No one is not actually Betty using it, but he's just running forward. One more attack will do it. There it is. And down will go Yijiang. Waku trying to find damage back. That was a 4v5 as Arjun now crashing that top lane tower. Inhib bot, inhib mid, and inhib top. Certain to fall as it's a 4v5. And PSG are trying to get this one across the line.
Yeah, it was damn near a 1v5. Betty is just running at them alone. And no opportunity to turn for Frank.
Yeah, lifesteal and Warmogs means that everyone on PSG back to full HP, and it truly is a 4v5 with Yijiang spawning in 15 seconds. It's up to these other 4 members of Frank to see what sort of defense they can mount. Teleport now coming through as Arja looks to rejoin his team. He's going to get poked out by Wako, who is doing a lot of damage, but he does E forward, and with that down comes the Equalizer, zoning everyone away from these minions. Kaiwing's looked at, he does use that Unbreakable Will, but he's going to have to try and go away. The only engaged tool is that Headbutt Pulverize, and he uses it to escape as Nexus Tower number 2 goes down. It's a 5v5 now, but PSG are just so far in the lead. It's 15k gold advantage, and only a Nexus stands between them and taking us to the 3rd game with a 2-0 lead in the series. Kaiwing trying to find Junja, but Junja flashes on out of there. Maple just taking out Gemini on the side, does get stunned up, but the culling should be good enough. There it is, and the Nexus, all that needs to be done is a few auto attacks. Wako up against his old teammate, will get the shot down. Is on the top side, it is also Jimmy, who does the same, but it's PSG who take the win.
Oh, it looked a little bit shaky at the end there, but my goodness, I think that was a 23-minute end by PSG. Frank legitimately never got to play that game. I'm not sure if Gemini even managed to get on the board.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it was just clean the entire time. There was not really any time in that game where you thought, wow, PSG could have played this a little bit cleaner. They dove top perfectly fine, dove bot perfectly fine. It all looked very good. Waku did find that 1 kill onto Woody in the bot dive. But aside from that, just a flawless game. And once again, it's just PSG Talon just showing their macro prowess and how much better they are at running across the map. That gets it done.
And it was essentially just a draft run back from Frank. They swapped Lucian for Corki. No difference really, it's just some ADC in the mid lane that Jimmy's going even on. And we have confirmed it wasn't a fluke first game. We've got to change something about this draft. This is not working at all. They don't even get to play.
Yeah. There is always the chance that they do just put in Pretender here for the remainder of their series, or at least for